Welcome to Sojourner Truth Tuesday to Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. This is your host, Margaret Prescod. Thank you so very much for joining us. Today, California's life-threatening budget cuts. The California Voter Foundation on Election Day in California and across the nation. We continue our coverage of the growing crisis in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict following the deaths of 9 after the Israeli military raided a humanitarian flotilla headed for Gaza. There's some reports that the deaths are 10. And our weekly Earth Minute series. We live in a global world. We are all interrelated. So on Sojourner Truth, we work to bring directly to you news and views on local, national, and international policies and stories that affect us all. And we draw out how those of us most impacted, women, communities of color, and other communities are responding. We also discuss the interrelationship between art and politics. You can now follow Sojourner Truth on Twitter. Look for us on Twitter at KPFK, and also on Facebook. Look for Sojourner Truth with Margaret Prescod. Before we get into our first segment on California's life-threatening budget cuts, some news headlines. Transparent budget process and a family recovery budget that shows the values of investing in people, not big corporations. And in studio to discuss this with us, I'd like to welcome Astrid Campos, who's an organizer with California Partnership. Astrid, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And joining us on the line is Mich'e Hutchison. She is a part-time community organizer with 9 to 5. She's also a CalWorks, and CalWorks, of course, replaced welfare when welfare reform came in under the Clinton administration. She's a CalWorks recipient, and she is also a Dominguez Hills student with a daughter, and she will be impacted if CalWorks gets eliminated, as is proposed in the governor's budget proposal, and her daughter will also be affected with Medi-Cal cuts. Mich'e Hutchison, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Astrid, let us start outside the home, because being a mother is also a full-time job, as many of us who are mothers know. Right, and that brings you, Mich'e, into this discussion, Mich'e Hutchison, because you're going to be impacted by these cuts and CalWorks. And tell us how it will impact you and your family. Give us some idea of the human cost, what it would mean in your family for these cuts to happen.
No problem. We'll start off. I'm the first generation of my family to even go with the anticipation of going to college. Unfortunately, my mother and father couldn't really afford to go to college. For me to go to college. So I heard from a friend about the CalWorks program and the GAIN program, and that's what made me find the lead and get in touch with my worker, and that's how I ended up going to college. I went to West Los Angeles, and now I'm at Dominguez Hills. If the CalWorks program is cut, it would really mean that I would have to stop going to college, because I would not be able to afford any book supplies, any transportation, and also for child care. As well as if the CalWorks program is cut, then health benefits for my daughter would be very frustrating. That means I would have to fully get a full-time job and try to figure out how to pay for health benefits, which would be hard for me to pay for her medication. Other than that, it's really dramatic, and it kind of is hurting me in many ways. Most definitely, I'm scared that I will have to drop out of college if I can't do it. Oh, fortunately as well, though, the CalWorks program also helped me in many ways, because through the GAIN services, I was able to get a job with 9 to 5. Organization, and that's what the TSE program is, which is subsidized. So it helped me as far as resumes and job preparation. It helped me with college, and I'm just, I'm extremely hurt about it if it does get cut.
Right, and Mich'e, also, people have no idea. They think that if you're on CalWorks, you're a single mother on CalWorks, that you're actually getting support that you could actually survive on. Give our listeners some idea of the amount of money we're actually talking about per month.
Okay, well, right now it's I actually only get about $5.61. And I do live on my own, and I do pay rent, and I do pay utilities, I pay insurance, I pay cell phone bills, and I have a daughter, so it's not enough. And I also work part-time. So it's actually helpful, and it's not enough if it get cut or even cut down a little bit. It's still not enough for me to survive.
Right, and back to you, Astrid Campos, who's with California Partnership, an organizer with California Partnership. There are other cuts in addition to CalWorks. There's in the child care and development programs and food assistance programs. That's focused.
Lost to the state, and so we're asking for there to be revenue, and I don't think there's no leadership either from the Democrats or the Republicans. I mean, the speaker actually did come out with something recently, but we need the governor to support these revenue options because there is a lot of them.
Right, and when is that taking place again? Tell us the time and where.
That will be June 15 at 4 p.m. in front of the governor's office in downtown LA, 300 South Spring Street.
Right, and people who want to become involved in this and get more information, what should they do?
They can contact me at 213-407-5840, or you can email me at Campos, CAMPOS, @communitychange.org, or you can visit our website at californiapartnership.org.